Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
It is time for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Give me a call right now. Once again, that phone number is 1-800-252-1025, or you can email us right here at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. And speaking of emails, I think we'll start with one.
Yeah, and remember, by the way, I like to point this out, that when you call the Life Coach, you can call yourself Steve or Becky. Or anonymous, or just make up a name. It does not matter. If you've got a problem, Danny can help you, and you can be anonymous. So
yes,
remember that when you make that call to 800-252-1025. Nora in Sacramento sent an email to the Life Coach. My husband cheated on me, and then he dumped me. I've just moved into my own place.
What an ass. You know, you shouldn't be able to do both. You cheat, and you go, oh, I'm sorry, let me beg my way back into your affections. But you can't cheat on someone and then dump them. So already I'm mad at your husband.
I've just moved into my own place, and our divorce papers have been filed. I alternate between feeling good and this sucks. I'm handling things, but it has been one of life's growth opportunities for sure. My question is, do you think it's too early for me to start dating? I still like men, and they seem to like me, and I still like being married. Will dating keep me from learning what I need to learn with this experience with Mr. Cheater? Do I need some time by myself to be me, or can I start dating?
I never understood that question. I don't mean just when it's directed towards me. Do I need more time to be me? You're always me. You could be you dating. You could be mad at your husband, and you're still going to be you. So I mean, you're moved out. And tell me if I've got anything wrong, Sarah, on this. Moved out, the divorce papers are filed. So what makes you nervous is that you're legally not divorced yet.
She doesn't want to make the same mistakes again, but also doesn't want to live like a nun. Is it too soon? And how do I know that I'm making the right decisions? Is what she's saying, and not to fall into the same routine.
It's not too soon at all. Call me back if you're thinking about marrying one of these guys. But if you just want to play the field a little bit, feel good about yourself, and make sure you remember, date men that make you feel good, that make sure you're having a good time. This is all about you right now, and I think you should step into the game, with both guns a-blazing and have a really good time. And that's the part you'll be you. You'll be you having a good time.
800-252-1025. If you've got a question, relationships, work, drugs or alcohol, anything that you're going through, Danny Bonaduce can help you at 800-252-1025. Dating seems to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Relationships definitely mess people up.
Maybe it's the holiday season.
That'll do it too, or just bad people. Terry in Sacramento.
Okay. A lot of Sacramento.
Yeah. They love you. You're big in Sacramento.
I'm huge in Sacramento.
Terry writes, I'm 25. I broke up with my one and only boyfriend of 7 years, 8 months ago. I moved out of the home we shared, and I stayed with my mom for 6 months. 2 weeks later, I found my ex was dating a 19-year-old girl. My life fell apart. My only comfort is drinking. I recently got a good job, and I was able to move out of my mom's house. However, I'm still extremely depressed, and I drink daily. My friends tell me I just need to find another man to be happy, but I don't have a desire to be with anyone but my ex. Can you give me some advice to help me be happy?
I can, and I appreciate the email. First of all, keep your eye on the booze. That will wreck everything. You don't want to add I have a problem with alcohol to I have a problem with relationships and husbands. So watch. I'm not telling you not to drink. You know what? I'm telling you just a little moderation here before you have another. When you're going to call me up next week, next year, and say, oh man, while I was in that turmoil, I got a DUI and I got arrested. They told me, don't do that. Just get a handle on the alcohol right now. You know what? All the things about when you break up with somebody, everything you do is going to be normal. Whether you say, I still want my ex and only my ex, normal. If you say, I never want to date again, normal. Whatever move you make is going to be normal unless you're a lunatic, and I don't think you are. So all the moves that you're doing right now are fine. Here's the thing. I want you to get out of the house, so I'm gonna say I'd love it if you were dating some, even if you knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere. I want you dating. I want you minding your manners and care about how you're dressed and if you did your makeup right. I want you doing that, participating in girl world because you need to right now. And man, can I tell you right now, I don't love the ex of dating a 19-year-old. It's kind of it's kind of silly. What's he going to say to a 19-year-old? They're kids, every time. And I'm the oldest guy in this room, and I'll throw out stuff about TV shows that I watched what feel like recently, and nobody here has seen them but me. The 19-year-old thing, I'm promising you, is not going to work out well. So my advice to you is watch the booze. That's very important. And start dating. And if you think for some reason that you're being disloyal, you're not. Go and play the field a little bit. You don't have to have sex with them. You don't have to sleep with them. You don't have to marry them. You don't have to love them. But go out and feel good about yourself. Put on some nice outfits and have some fun. I promise you, because you're so young, all of this is going to be behind you very soon.
And it's always when the guy moves on or the girl moves on. I'm sure the relationship wasn't going to work. You're going to move on anyway. But it's when they start dating someone else that whole jealousy thing rears its ugly head. And Danny, you've brought this up so many times that as soon as like a little bit of time goes by, you look back, you're like, what?
Yeah, no, I cannot imagine. You do look back from a distance and go, I can't imagine. Imagine this, because boys and girls are jealous. You know, your boyfriend went on to date somebody 19 years old. My ex-wife is dating a guy with a giant oozits. And I imagine how I felt about that. And now I say, I don't care. It could, it could look like an anaconda. That's not really my business.
If you've got any kind of question for the life coach, call 800-252-1025. The drug testing thing, I was thinking about you the other day. This, the things I've learned on Danny Bonaduce, life coach, how to beat a drug test, a lot of legal stuff. It seems like you've got good breadth of knowledge.
I do.
800-252-1025. Roger in Boise, Idaho.
Wow, we're all over the place this morning.
Life coach at KZOK.com. Roger writes, I've fallen into a rut where I do little more at work than surf the web and play computer solitaire. I never look at porn or anything that would raise an alarm. I just browse news and social media sites, and I do little else. This isn't part of my job description, but no one seems to care. I feel guilty. I worry about being fired if I'm found out. But I also feel like I have a great job and I can get away with doing all this stuff while I'm on the internet. Is there something wrong with me? What should I do to motivate again?
No, I like you. The first part of this is finding out that you're into all these video games and solitaire and things like that. That's fairly standard stuff. I think it's great that you realize, hey, this is kind of bad and nobody's calling me on it. But I'll tell you this. They don't have to have caught you already for them to be able to catch you. Sarah and I have discussed this a dozen times on the show. The way the laws are now, they can absolutely peruse what you look at work is their business. So they're going to come around one of these days, I think, maybe when it's time to give you a raise. But if you are not taxed more than that at work, it sounds like it's a nice place. So there's two things that you can do. Work harder because you feel it's the right thing to do. Just do more than your fair share and don't play the games. Or get a job where somebody's coming by and say, hey, I need that report by 7. I told you I need it by Tuesday. You're going to have to step up. And I think maybe that's the one for you, that you should move to a job, because it sounds like you're really, that you've got the skills for a good job, that you should move on to a job where they say, hey, I need you. Roger,
Yep.
Roger, I need you to do this and have these reports for me. Eventually a lot of us would think, man, they're breathing down my neck. It sounds like that's what you need, because I think you want to show off a little bit. I think you're really good at what you do, and I think you want people to go and go, man, I asked that report on Thursday, you got it to me Wednesday, and it was excellent. I think you're that guy. So don't quit your job. You know how I feel about that. Don't quit the job till you got a new one. But when you do get a new one, go ahead and quit and get a job where they ask for reports on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever it is. I don't know exactly what you do, and I think you will shine there.
800-252-1025. That's the number for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Diane in Maple Valley, you're on with Danny.
Hey, Diane.
Hi.
Hi.
So I have a 24-year-old daughter who is 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
And her partner is less than I don't know how to say it. He can't hold a job. He drinks too much.
Oh, I think the term is that my 24-year-old daughter is with a bum. I think that's the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine with me. Sounds like a bum.
Well, I've been wanting to call for a while because I don't know how to handle it, because last Sunday she called. He was drunk. She was hysterical. I went out to pick her up, and then she decided to stay. But now she's mad at me because I disrespected him. We've got the holidays coming up. I don't know how to help her get out of this situation. Her brothers and sisters are at their wits' end. Her dad's at her wits' end, his wits' end. I just don't know what to do.
Well, let me ask you something, Diane. Have you talked to her about this? Have you said, do you see this go anywhere? Because, the fact that she's pregnant throws a monkey wrench into everything, because I want the guy gone. You know what? I don't like him, and I don't have to like him. It's not my job to like him. A lot of people these days think calling somebody a bum, it's not socially acceptable. You know what? If the guy's going to wear the hat of a bum, I am down with it. You can't keep a job. Your 24-year-old girlfriend is pregnant, and you don't, you can't keep a job to feed the family. I don't love you. I don't think I have to love you. So what does the family want to do, Diane?
We've talked to her over and over again. He actually has a 9-month-old daughter from a previous relationship.
Oh, I hate this guy.
The same thing happened. She left him because he wouldn't hold a job. My daughter's just so in love with being in love.
Right.
She just doesn't see it. We've all tried to talk to her and help her see things. I've even tried to be kind and cordial. They've been at my home. They've stayed there. He just lays on the couch.
I was going to say, how's his behavior? How's his behavior when he's at your house?
Oh, lays on the couch, watches TV, and she waits on him hand and foot. And it's just, but we've tried to give him resources to find a decent job. And yeah, I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm afraid I'm going to lose her, especially after the last big fight.
All right. Well, here's what I think you should do, because you don't want to have to go through this pregnancy alone. And this guy doesn't seem like he's really going to help her all that much. So until the baby is born, you're going to have to play it by ear. But I think you're going to have to start not inviting him to. He didn't marry your daughter. I don't think you should invite him too many. I think this might be his last Christmas. And I don't know if he's even going to make Christmas. Depends on when this baby is born. But I think you should stop inviting him to family functions. And, he's got to easily get a job that you approve of and can stay there for a while. Treat your daughter the way she was meant to be treated and add something to this family. Otherwise, you're not coming over for turkey and pumpkin pie anymore. You've got to be part of this family to come to family functions. So that's the answer in my book there, Diane. And I think you just hang in there and bite your lip and do the best you can.
Good luck to you, Diane. We've got time for another email on Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. This is from Becky in Puyallup. My husband is going out after work almost every night and drinking since his dad died. It has now been 2 years. I've had enough. Now, he doesn't do anything dumb when he drinks. He just spends too much money because he's out in the bars drinking. I was going to say,
that's always a thing. Drinks today, the way I can't even imagine the way I used to drink. But let's say you go out to, 4 or 5 drinks. You're looking at $50 with the tip. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing. That's part of your family money right there.
So he spends too much money, he comes home late, and unfortunately he drives. I love him to death, and I hate seeing him not acting like himself. He seems depressed. He's gained a bunch of weight. He doesn't want to do any of the hobbies he used to do. Now, he's agreed to go to marriage counseling, but we both keep putting it off, or I don't follow up with him. Do you think it's worth sticking around for somebody who's gone down the wrong road? We don't have any kids, so I could just up and leave, but I did marry, for better or worse.
Well, you know what? I think you have a very good attitude. Sometimes I see people staying in long past when they needed to. But I'm going to say, you know what? Nobody wants the distance on this. You say everybody agreed to go to counseling, but nobody actually did it. I think you owe yourself at least three marriage counselor sessions, and then you make up your shit. Because if you don't go, you'll always look back and go, did I put everything I had into that marriage? So set up 3 marriage counseling sessions and go to them. And maybe you will not go down the road of getting a divorce. Maybe, and that's kind of my bet, because the way you write, I think you're going to stick with this guy if he just cuts out the drinking a little bit, doesn't drive, doesn't get behind the wheel of a car anymore, and he hasn't had a 502. So, you know what, he hasn't gone as stupid as he could be. So you said everybody's agreeing to go to marriage counseling, but we haven't done it. 3. I want 3 of them. And if after they feel, I'm still leaving, you go and you have a clear conscience. You did all you could. That's all the time we have right now for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. I appreciate your phone calls and your emails. Life Coach was brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.